Fanalysis.
How you doing, guys, and welcome to another episode of Fanalysis. Now, in this episode, what I want to bring to you is four fighters that brought a lot of excitement and a lot of pleasure and a lot of enjoyment to the boxing scene, and they were legends of the ring, the Four Kings. Roberto Duran was a Panamanian former professional boxer who competed from 1968 to 2001. He held world championships in 4 weight classes: lightweight, welterweight, light middle and middleweight. In June 1972, he defeated Ken Buchanan in Madison Square Gardens for the WBA lightweight championships. Duran was a 2-1 underdog.
Madison Square Garden Productions presents a 15-round bout for the lightweight championship of the world between the champion, Ken Buchanan of Edinburgh, Scotland, and the challenger, Roberto Duran of Panama City, Panama.
Within seconds of the opening round, Roberto knocked Ken Buchanan down with a punch, I think it was on the shoulder, then dominated the rest of the fight. Now, in the 13th round, as the bell went, Duran hit Buchanan with a low blow. He was took back to his corner, carried back to his corner, and never came out for the 14th. And the ref called the fight off and gave the championship to Duran. In 1978, Roberto Duran became undisputed lightweight champion, knocking out Esteban de Jesus in the 12th round. De Jesus struggled to get up, was then finished by Duran. From 1972 to 78, Hearns ruled the lightweight division. He couldn't make the weight anymore, so in 1980 he relinquished the titles and moved up to welterweight and handed Sugar Ray Leonard his first pro loss. Roberto Duran won titles in 4 weight classes and is widely regarded as the world's greatest lightweight in history. Wilfred Benitez versus Sugar Ray Leonard was a professional boxing match contested in November 30th, 1979 for the WBC and ring welterweight titles. Wilfred Benitez retained his superweight welterweight title in 1982 against Roberto Duran. 25th of November 1980. Now this was a rematch between Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran. In the first fight, Leonard tried to match Duran in fighting ability, head to head, toe to toe, and came off second best. But in this second fight, he used different tactics and he was showboating a lot, sticking his tongue out, doing the bolo punch. Duran became frustrated, and in the 8th round, it was classed as a TKO. Duran no longer wanted to carry on, and this fight was labelled no mas.
Roberto threw it on the run, halfway through round number 8. Round. This 8th round, not as much action so far. Here comes Duran inside.
Good left hook, but
it's been non-stop. Leonard jabbing but getting hit too.
good right hand by Duran.
Knocks Sugar Ray in the ropes. It gets away immediately. And what's happening? Duran says no. I think he's quitting. I think he's quitting.
World Welterweight Championships, September the 16th, 1981. Thomas the Hitman Hearns versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Venue, Caesar's Palace. The first 2 rounds, Leonard came out dancing. He was showboating, grabbing the ropes. Near the end of the second round, he started to plant his feet. Leonard came out on his toes in the third round. Both men, when they engaged, were putting in power shots. Leonard was still dancing around. 17 seconds to go in the third round. Leonard decided to stand and trade, but he came off second best in that trade. Rounds 4 and 5, Leonard dancing around. Tommy Hearns putting in powerful jabs. Then up close, flurries of punches from both men. Round 5, Thomas Hearns still cutting off the ring. Leonard dancing around. Now Thomas Hearns is showboating. At this stage, Leonard is behind on points. Round 6, Hearns catches Leonard and wobbles him. Now it's Hearns that gets wobbled. Both men going at it. Round 7, both men come out fighting. Sugar Ray Leonard looking the stronger man and putting under pressure. Round 8, Leonard holding centre ring, and now it's Hearns dancing around and Leonard is looking the stronger man. Round 9, and Leonard has won the last 3 rounds. Hearns coming back into the fight with his left jab, beating Leonard to the punch. Round 10, Hearns dancing around using the jab, Leonard trying to cut off the ring. Thomas Hearns boxing well. Round 11, Hearns jabbing, now he's using that right again. Round 11, it's Hearns now putting in the jabs, the right hands and the body shots and the heavy shots. Hearns doing well coming out in round 12, holding centre ring. Now he's the one backing Leonard up. Round 13, Leonard's eyes closing and Hearns is ahead on points. 13th round, Ray catches Hearns, puts him out the ring. The referee allows him to come back in. No knockdown. Then Ray puts him down again. He gets a standing count. And the bell goes. Saved by the bell. Round 14, Sugar Ray Leonard putting pressure on Hearns. Hearns is looking tired and drained. He's taking punishment and the referee stops the fight. Hearns finishes on his feet, but the referee stops the fight. Thomas Hearns is an American former professional boxer who competed from 1977 to 2006, nicknamed the Motor City Cobra, and more famously, the Hitman, Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Thomas the Hitman Hearns became the first boxer in history to win world titles in 5 weight divisions: welterweight, light middleweight, middleweight, super middleweight and light heavyweight. Mexican boxer Jose Pepino Cuevas became the youngest welterweight champion in history with his victory over Angel Espada at the age of 18. He was the WBA welterweight champion from 1979 to 1980. He met Thomas Hearns in 1980 and the title swapped hands. He was defeated by a 2-round KO. June 15th, 1984, Thomas Hearns beat Roberto Duran for the WBC and Ring Junior Middleweight title. Thomas Hearns won by knockout.
He's wobbly.
Tommy hits him with the right hand.
Vicious
Another
right.
I think this fight is very close to being over. A left hand. Duran fights off the ropes.
Oh, he's out. He's out.
He was out before he hit the canvas. At a minute 58.
That's it.
Hearns
Stop
hit
the
right
fight.
hand.
Stop the fight.
And
It's over.
Carlos Padilla
Out before he hit the
says
canvas.
that's all. This fight is over.
15th of April 1985, and Thomas Hearns steps up in weight to challenge undisputed middleweight champion Marvelous Marvin Hagler. From the opening bell, Hagler initiated a war. He came out bombing combinations to the body, left, right, combinations to the body. Hearns catches him with in the head with a right, and Hearns has cut Hagler above the left eye. Right now, in this opening round, it's a war. Hagler's got him trapped. Hearns is coming back out fighting, and it's a war. Combinations by Hearns, and he's cut Hagler. Hagler's face is all blooded up. That first round was brutal. There was more action in that first round than there has been in some fights that go the distance. Both men were hurt and wobbled during that first round. The end of the first round, back in the corner, the doctors are looking at Hagler's cut, and it seems to be above the right eye, but not on the eyelid, but above. They come out for the second round. Hagler jabs with the left hand. Hearns is boxing. Hagler's switching from southpaw to orthodox. Hearns is boxing and catching Hagler with the right hand, and it's more at the distance fight in the second round. Hagler's face is all blooded. Looks like the cut has reopened. Hagler turns it into war, and it's on top of him and will not step back. Round 3, Hagler comes out orthodox. Hearns is boxing, keeping his distance. Not long into it, the referee stops the fight and sends Hagler to the corner for the doctor to check on his cut. Hagler comes back from the corner. Hearns is trying to box. Hagler is just trying to cut off the ring. Hagler catches him with the left, and he wobbles him, sends him into a funny dance, and he knocks him out. Hearns struggles to beat the 10 count, and the referee stops the fight. Alan Minter was a British professional boxer who competed from 1972 to 1981. He held the undisputed middleweight title in 1980, having previously held the British middleweight title from 1975 to 1976. And the European middleweight title twice between 1977 and 1979. 27th of September 1980, Marvin Hagler beats Alan Minter in a third round KO to become undisputed middleweight champion. The fight was held at Wembley Arena, London. The first round, both fighters using the jab. Minter very upright. Hagler moving around, Minter trying to stay in the centre of the ring. Second round starts off pretty much the same as the first, but then Hagler catches Minter on the ropes with a left right, and Minter retaliates, and Hagler catches him, and his face starts to get very bloody. Near the end of round 2, Minter has Hagler in the corner, and he starts to put the pressure on, but Hagler comes back out fighting. Third round, Hagler boxing very well. Again, he catches Minter with a solid right. His nose is bleeding again. Minter fights back, but then Hagler retaliates, and the referee stops the fight due to the cut. Despite marvellous Marvin Hagler becoming undisputed champion in Wembley, London, he was robbed of the chance to celebrate his victory and receive his belts in the ring when he was pelted by cans and bottles by the British fans. Marvellous Marvin Hagler, one of the greatest fighters to ever lace up the gloves in a boxing ring. 10th of November 1983 at Caesar Palace Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Roberto Duran, Hands of Stone, challenges Marvellous Marvin Hagler for the IBF, WBA and WBC World Middleweight belts. The first round, mainly feeling each other out. Second round, Hagler started to work to the body. In round 3, both fighters are starting to become more physical and the fight is now starting to heat up. Both fighters trying to impose their dominance, and it is more of a chess match than a war than what most people expected. Hagler fighting more out of the southpaw stance, but when he switches to the orthodox, he seems to have better success. Round 6 seems to be a much better round for Hagler in the last minute, and he's the one who is dominating this fight at the moment in this round. It's a tough fight and it's a close fight. Hagler seems to be having more success on the inside with the body shots. Hagler putting in a high work rate, a high volume of punches to the body, to the head, mainly to the body, to leave no doubt in the judge's mind who's won this fight. At the end of the 15th round, Duran gives a macho stance and stares down Hagler. Hagler just brushes it off and walks off. Marvellous Marvin Hagler wins by unanimous decision and retains his undisputed championship titles. This fight between Marvellous Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard was built as a super fight. The fight was on April the 6th, 1987, and it was for the WBC and ring titles at middleweight. The fight was held at Caesar's Palace. This fight between Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard, it is one of the most controversial fights and decisions in the history of boxing. Now, the fight went 12 rounds, and how the fight played out was Hagler constantly pushing forward, putting the pressure on, and then Sugar Ray Leonard, he would fight near the end of the round in spurts and putting faster and more showful punches, fast flurries, which was influencing the judges and also influencing the crowd. So he was fighting at spurts and more to the end of the round, while Hagler constantly was going forward and putting the pressure on. Hagler did get caught at times going forward, but so did Leonard. Now, near the end of the fight, this was a 12-round fight, Leonard started to fight with his mouth open, and people were worried. He looked tired and he looked out of breath. But then, when Leonard was in the corner, he'd come out fighting with fast combinations, which looked good and was very showful, and I believe that influenced the judges and the crowd. Now, you had one judge scored it 115 to 113 to Hagler. The second judge 115, 113 to Leonard, and the third judge 118, 110 to Leonard. So Leonard snatched the title off Marvellous Marvin Hagler and became the WBC and the ring middleweight champion. After this fight, Marvin Hagler retired as he felt he didn't get the respect he deserved within boxing, and Sugar Ray Leonard went on to win titles in different weight classes. For me, all these different fighters, they all brought their own unique style. Roberto Duran, hands of stone, fearless. He would just, all he ever wanted to do was fight and be in a war. Sugar Ray Leonard, reminiscent of Muhammad Ali in the lighter weights, with the flashy footwork. He even used to do the Ali shuffle. But Sugar Ray Leonard was also a person that would get into a battle and would fight. He wasn't just a person that danced away. He would fight. Thomas the Hitman Hearns, as well as having that powerful right hand and that 6'1" frame with a long reach, he was also a very good boxer, but he was a warrior as well, and a very, very tough man. Marvin Hagler. Now, he had it the hard way, and he came through many fights. A lot of them weren't even filmed or mentioned. He had so many fights before even getting recognition. And for me, marvellous Marvin Hagler, out of all of them, he was my favourite. Rest in peace. Well, anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Peace. Catch you soon.